We know from the great reporting of Matt Ford that Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, had a secret panel as part of AARO. And at least two of those individuals were former UFO control group members. Well, now Ross Coulthart is blowing this whole thing wide open. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's hear what Ross has to say.
And I can reveal here tonight that I've found out some of the members of a special secret advisory committee that Dr. Kirkpatrick used to advise him in the preparation of that report. I have their names, I have their roles, I know who they are. They are the gatekeepers, believe it or not, to this legacy program. They were quite literally pulling the strings on this AARO report. And people are so angry, so bitterly angry with this feeble attempt at a cover-up that they are now leaking more assiduously to people like me, and more importantly, whistleblowers are becoming more compelled to come forward and give evidence about what they know. And if I can just make one further point. Okay. There is an executive order under your President Ronald Reagan, God bless him, back in the 1980s, this executive order 12333 banned covert actions by the US intelligence community against the American public, designed to influence American public opinion or media commentary. Now, the allegation that we now have on the books is a constitutional crisis for the United States, because you have two separate arms of government. You have the ICIG, the Intelligence Community Inspector General, saying it's true, and you've got no comment right now from the Director of National Intelligence, and you've got the Pentagon claiming it's not true. So who's lying?
What about the...
Who's lying indeed? Well, I think we have a good idea who's lying, but what about this secret committee? Well, we don't know the exact names of the people that are part of AARO, this secret committee that is part of AARO, but we do know the names of the members of the current Special Access Program Oversight Committee, the gatekeepers behind a lot of this. And that is from the Wilson Davis notes. And we have David Turk, the Deputy Secretary, U.S. Department of Energy. We have David Crane, Undersecretary for Infrastructure. Dr. Jerry Richmond, Undersecretary for Science and Innovation. Jill Ruby, I don't know if I'm saying that right, the Undersecretary for Nuclear Safety and Administrator of the National Nuclear Security Administration. We have Jay Tilden, Associate Administrator and Deputy Undersecretary for Counterterrorism and Counterproliferation. We have Marv Adams, the Deputy Administrator for Defense Programs. And of course, we have Lou Monroe, the Associate Administrator and Chief for the Office of Defense and Nuclear Security. And we have Sam Walsh, the General Consul. We have Stephen Black, the Director, Office of Intelligence and Counterintelligence. And we have Chief Health, Safety and Security Officer, who is unnamed here. And and that is from Red Octopus, Mithrander, who says a huge thank you to to Think Tank. I think Think Tank is the person that came out with this. And when I asked where this information came from, Think Tank replied from the Wilson Davis memo. So if these individuals are leading the Special Access Program Oversight Committee, do they know about the deep stuff, about the deep UFO stuff, about the UFO control group black programs? How much do they know? How much power do they have over those programs? Are those programs hidden even from them? Well, we don't know, but we do know, per Matt Ford and now Ross Coulthart, that AARO has a secret committee that are pulling the strings of AARO. And Matt Ford has reported that at least two members of that committee are former members of the UFO control group. So the UFO control group is apparently pulling the strings of AARO, which of course should surprise nobody. I've gone over Sean Kirkpatrick's resume before and how it's very likely that he has been part of the program for a long time, and now he's been connected to companies that are involved in reverse engineering UFOs. Well, Ross Coulthart talks about what is next for the future, so let's give a listen.
A lot of this is going to fall to the Congress. There are moves afoot in the Congress for more public hearings. I mean, as recently as this week, we've had a situation where allegations made by Representative Matt Gaetz from Florida have been borne out by an FOI request. And believe it or not, the military is continuing to try to suppress a video of an unidentified anomalous object that was seen hovering over the Florida coast by a US Air Force pilot. If there's nothing in this, if this is all poppycock, if it's all nonsense, and if it's all the fictional claims of a bunch of tinfoil hat crazies, why are US Air Force pilots not being allowed to reveal what they shot with their videos on their gun cameras? What is the US military hiding? And why is it so reluctant to expose itself to proper transparency?
Great questions, Ross. Great questions. Why are they trying so hard to hide stuff if there's nothing to hide? And exactly what are their justifications for hiding this under like national security? How is, any of this national security? How is not showing us UFO footage national security? How, Timothy Alberino was reporting on the giant in Kandahar. And one of the viewers of the channel correctly asked, how is not sharing that national security? How is a giant in Kandahar affecting national security? It's a smokescreen. It's a cover-up. It's a very deliberate cover-up. It's been going on for a long time. Who knows for how long this has been going on? Has it been going on since the 40s or 50s? Or has it been going on for much longer? I mean, they've been hiding the giants since the early 1900s. And there are indications that some of this stuff may have been covered up since the 1800s. So, who knows, guys? Who knows how far back all this goes? But this is a very well orchestrated, very entrenched cover-up. There are obviously a lot of invested interest in this, whether that's the energy industry or not, I don't know. That seems like that's a likely part of it. But I think there's a lot more going on besides. There's actually contact with the beings. There is some interaction and coordination with the beings. There are people in the UFO control group that are assisting in alien abductions. And the alien abduction phenomenon is quite massive, as I've reported on many times before. It's a very robust operation. It seems like a very critical operation, a very important operation, whatever that aspect of the phenomenon is doing. It's very big, and it's a very important thing. And it's a very important thing for us to uncover and get a handle on. So, one huge reason why we need UFO disclosure is to either put an end to that or to again, come to some sort of reconciliation with that. But also we have a lot of other abuse in these black programs, as Mike Herrera has reported on. So, and many others. So we clearly need official U.S. government, disclosure. Because, again, we need oversight of these black programs, and we need management of this issue in a very genuine and sincere way. But right now, if there is coordination and interaction with the beings, it's likely they are calling the shots. Now, I think there is some aspect of the phenomenon that we may not be working with that wants disclosure. I don't know how else to describe, explain things like the Phoenix Lights and various, all these examples where the phenomenon deliberately reveals itself to people, often or sometimes very specific people like Chris Bledsoe or John Bell or various others, where the phenomenon very deliberately reveals itself to them and allows itself to be caught on camera and shared with the public. So, there's definitely a pro-disclosure part of the phenomenon, and then there's a part that's working with the control group that doesn't seem pro-disclosure. Although, again, who knows? There are some indications that even that part may want disclosure. It's really, we're in the fog of war on this. It's hard to tell what motivations the phenomenon has and the various parts of the phenomenon have, and what motivations are driving the human part of the cover-up. But it has been going on for a long time. It's not going to be dislodged easily. We're going to need some, leaks. We're going to need some evidence to come forward. And, obviously we're going to hopefully get some major evidence on March 12th with the unveiling, hopefully, of a giant alien body. So that's going to be huge. Hopefully, if it gets play. I mean, we've already got a whole bunch of bodies, or various bodies, that have been revealed so far with the Nazca situation, and that hasn't gotten nearly enough play. Hopefully, this new reveal will get more play because, again, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound if there's nobody there to hear it? Well, let's make sure that we're there to hear that UFO disclosure tree falling in that forest. But either way, we need official U.S. government and official government disclosure in general for the reasons I've already enumerated. So anyway, but there you go. Ross Coulthart saying that basically the UFO control group is leading AARO, which should not be a huge surprise, but it's great to hear that from Ross. It's great to have that confirmation, and let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links below. Love to see you guys there. Support the channel by buying a book, by buying some merch in the merch store, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.